98 Not Out, sponsored by Shepherd Neame, proud supporters of cricket in Essex.
Joining us now, our next guest is Mr. Andrew Gallant, who's a committee member of Essex Seniors, and we're going to talk Vets cricket. Andrew, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, listeners, and thank you for inviting me to the show.
Oh, most welcome. Andrew, it's Brett here. It's probably something that's overlooked, isn't it? That we always talk about Colts cricket, we talk a lot about women's cricket, obviously men's cricket, but there is quite a thriving scene, the over 50s and over 60s cricket as well, isn't it?
Not only over 50s and over 60s, but we have over 70s cricket as well.
Wow.
There's hope for you yet, Darren.
Hope for both of us.
In fact, seniors cricket in Essex is in an extremely healthy state. It's thriving. In fact, seniors cricket across the whole country is thriving as well. We have 2 over 50s teams in Essex, 4 over 60s teams, and 1 over 70s team.
Fantastic. Who's the oldest player on your or the county's books currently?
That's a good question, because we have a number in their high 70s, all similar sort of age, to be honest. Right. But 76, that sort of age is...
Do they tend to be sort of people that have played cricket all their lives and have kept it going, or...?
The vast majority.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vast majority do. Although we have one guy that plays in the over 60s first team who didn't take up cricket until extremely late compared to other people, probably nearer his 40s, and he actually is currently in the England over 60s team as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, Essex won the over 50s last year, didn't they?
Essex won the over 50s last year, beat Yorkshire in the final, and are the current county over 50s champions.
Is that Peter Ryder?
That's Peter Ryder runs that team, yes. In fact, Essex won the national over 70s competition last year as well, so are national champions at 70s as well.
That's excellent. So, any familiar names in the sort of sides, the over 50s or the over 70s?
Over 50s, Mel Hussain, Nasser's elder brother.
Yep.
Mel plays for England as well.
Yeah.
Giles Eccleston.
Name rings a bell.
He plays for the over 50s. In fact, we've got 3 players in the over 50s team play for England over 50s.
Wow.
We've got 3 in the over 60s first team play in the England over 60s team as well. And we've had Essex players representing England over 70s as well.
Now, I'm going to make a quick apology just in case it happens. The rain has picked up again here, and after our earlier shenanigans in the other studio, we may have to turn things up and down slightly, because we did have a massive rain effect on the mics earlier.
So far, I can't hear anything.
It was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So I heard.
So Andrew, what's your involvement then with Essex Seniors?
So with Essex Seniors, I am the manager of the over 60s first team, and I'm on the committee of the over 60s stroke 70s committee.
And what format do these age groups play?
45 overs.
Oh, okay, right.
9 per bowler.
Right.
Over 70s this year are going to be playing, if we play, are going to play 40 overs.
Right. That's fair enough.
Still going some, isn't it? What's have you had any feedback yet as to what you might do, or is it just a case of waiting to hear with the government and waiting to see what goes on, or have you had any discussions what you might or might not do about shortening seasons?
Well, I'm also on the National Over 60s, Over 70s County Championship Committee. In fact, I'm vice chairman, and I run the first team competition. What we have decided so far is that the situation will be reviewed by the end of May, but we've cancelled the first half of the season. The second half of the season, which would be all the return fixtures, would normally start around about the 23rd of June and go on till early August, and then there are knockout stages leading to national finals after that. And we're in close liaison with the ECB and mindful of the government's press releases. So at the moment, we're hoping to start something this year, but as you were mentioning earlier, over 60s and over 70s tend to be in the more vulnerable group, and maybe there'll be more restrictions as when and if sport comes to be played put on them than in the younger age groups. So it's up in the air at the moment, to be honest.
Well, keeping it optimistic, there are a few things, particularly with England, in the pipeline, above and beyond what happens with the English season. You've got, there's a World Cup, two World Cups coming up, aren't there? There's the over 50s and over 60s.
Yeah, the over 50s World Cup actually was March this year.
Okay.
And it was in South Africa. And midway through England's first match, the tournament was cancelled due to the COVID-19 outbreak. And that has been rescheduled for March next year.
Right, okay.
The over 60s World Cup is currently scheduled for November on the Gold Coast in Australia. And there will be 11 countries competing in that. And the over 70s are due to tour Australia at the same time, playing for the over 70s Ashes.
Right. And how long is that? You say the over 70s Ashes. Is that a series of games dotted around Australia?
Yes, it is. There's normally 3, occasionally 5 matches, plus there's regional matches. It's very much like when the Australian national team come over here. They play the counties and then they play England. And it's a very similar tour, 3.5 week tour though in our case. And there'll be matches against regional over 70s teams, plus matches against Australia.
So for guys that play for England, do the costs get covered centrally by ECB, or do the guys have to cover their own costs, or how does it work?
Unfortunately, in seniors cricket, not only 70s but 60s and 50s, there is no funding. It is all self-funded by the players.
So you could do with a sponsor?
We could really do with the sponsor. The over 60s and 70s tournament used to be sponsored by an organisation called Cvent. Their sponsorship ended last year, so yes, we are without a sponsor. And as you probably well realise, when players are self-funding those sort of tours, a 4-week tour to Australia, for instance, isn't cheap. There are times where, unfortunately, you don't get your best 16 players available to go because of funding issues.
So if someone's listening to this and thinks, hang on a second, I'd like to be involved, how can they get in touch? Who do they come to?
They could come to me in the first instance.
Okay. We'll put the details on our social media, but do you want to give an email address that maybe people can get in touch and get more details?
AndrewGallant999@gmail.com.
There you go, AndrewGallant999@gmail.com. If you want to get involved and get behind what sounds like a really, really great cause, and it's great to see these people, travelling to Australia. It must be an amazing thing to do when you're retired.
Yes, and we're hoping also to extend that tour to New Zealand.
There's hope for you here, Darren.
There is. That's why I'm taking such an interest. I know over at Billericay, where I'm involved, we've got a very vibrant vets session, and they really are part of the club. In almost every way. They're a very entertaining bunch of chaps, and I think the age range, as you were saying about where you're involved, goes from over 50s all the way up, and I'm pretty sure there are 1 or 2 gentlemen that are north of 80 years old that have some kind of involvement. I wouldn't like to say that they're necessarily playing or whatever else, but I might be stood to be corrected on that. But the other good thing with people of that age group is that they're very sociable as well, and can often be found hanging around at the club long after the game's finished.
Yep, you're right there. Seniors cricket tends to renew acquaintances and turn what maybe were competing friendships in earlier life to very happy and jovial friendships on the pitch in senior life. And you mentioned Billericay, Darren. That's where we hold our indoor nets for Essex seniors from January through until end of March.
Aha.
And your first team scorer, Keith Paternoster, is my scorer for Essex over 60s first team.
He's a character, isn't he?
He is, and he also plays in the Essex seniors, Essex over 60s teams as well.
No, he does a lot of work at Billericay for vets cricket, and I think also, as you say, he's involved at county level, and is generally works very, very hard and selflessly because I think he enjoys it so much. And I think people should be aware of this, that this is an enjoyable pastime. It doesn't need to be a hard work or onerous for anyone, does it?
No, not at all. You intimated earlier that not a lot is known about seniors cricket. Generally, you don't hear much of it. But we actually have 40 counties play in the ECB over 50s first team competition.
That's amazing.
We have 33 counties play in the over 60s first team competition, and 25 in the second team competition, 11 in the third team competition, 5 in the fourth team competition, and I think it's 15 in the 70s competition. I think that's more counties that play in the professional game.
It is.
It definitely is.
Well, going forward, we're going to have to
cover it more.
Yeah, we're going to cover this a bit more and make sure that the word gets out there, because it's definitely, like you say, are really vibrant and more popular than people probably know about.
Definitely. In fact, there isn't just Essex seniors playing in Essex. We have, as you mentioned, Billericay veterans.
Yeah.
Essex's own Bill Burke runs Old Victorians Veterans Cricket Club. Chelmer Cricket Club have a veterans section. And the Two Counties League have their own seniors section.
Is that Suffolk?
That's North Essex and South Suffolk, the Two Counties League.
Right.
And they have a 50s team and a 60s team, and they have over 50 fixtures a year.
Good God.
It just shows how vibrant.
Well, we're going to start getting... We're definitely going to cover this, and we'll probably be coming back to you for info and updates. But, yeah, I think we're going to have to make a bigger noise about this, definitely.
Just shows how big the cricket family is, doesn't it?
It's very big.
Hey, thank you very much for your time. And hopefully we'll catch up with you later on in the season when there's a bit of cricket being played.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks
Andrew.
a lot.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Be well. Stay safe.
You too.